In Germany, a biotech company named Eon has developed a revolutionary medical procedure. This procedure can transfer time from one person's life to another. People who need money can sell years of their life. This makes them age much faster. Eon stores this time and then transfers it to a matching recipient, making the recipient younger. Only those in desperate need, either for education or to improve their living conditions, agree to this procedure. On the other side, important people like scholars, artists, and celebrities receive this time. Nobel laureates have also recently been added to Eon's list of recipients. In this world, the protagonist, Max Thoma, works as a donation manager for Eon. He convinces people to sell their age. We see him at work, stressing how he himself sold 5 years of his life to afford a college education. Max convinces a migrant family that their teenage son would greatly benefit from selling 15 years of his life. Max secures the deal and is soon awarded by Eon for being the best agent of the year. Even though many people use Eon's age transfer technology, a group called the Atom Group opposes it. They try to make people aware of how Eon is increasing social and economic inequality. The Atom Group carries out violent attacks on Eon's recipients and is labeled a violent organization. Amidst this tension, Max defends his employers and sees the benefits of the age transfer procedure. However, his perspective changes when an accidental fire destroys his lavish apartment. Max and his wife, Elena, had bought the apartment on credit, unable to afford it outright. They are now forced to pay off the remaining debt. Unknown to Max, their debt contract allows the bank to charge them 40 years of their age if they cannot clear the monetary debt. The fire comes as a shock to Max and Elena, who had been dreaming of starting a family. Initially hopeful that insurance will cover the damage, they are dismayed when the insurance company refuses to pay, claiming the fire was caused by a negligent candle left burning by Elena. Since they still owe money for the bank loan taken for the apartment, Max and Elena need to come up with the money suddenly. Max directly speaks with Eon's CEO, Sophie Thiessen, asking for an immediate loan, promising to repay it with extra hard work. However, this doesn't help. Eon offers Max a slight promotion, which increases his salary but doesn't solve the immediate need for a large sum of money. Meanwhile, Elena, working as a doctor in a community hospital, also can't come up with the money. In a world favoring big corporations, working at a community hospital is like working for charity. The couple had mainly relied on Max's earnings to buy the apartment and hoped to repay the loan in the future. As they ultimately can't pay back the loan, Elena is arrested by the authorities and taken to the Eon facility where they operate on her. Time from her life is taken away, and the authorities determine that the exact period to be taken is 38 years. Within a couple of days, the surgery affects Elena's body, increasing her age by 38 years and making her an elderly woman. Before this twisted resettlement, Max pleaded to donate his time instead, but this was denied as the authorities stated there were no compatible recipients for Max. Max argued that he had once donated his years, meaning there was surely someone compatible with his time, but then it was revealed that the recipient had recently died. Meanwhile, Elena continually insists that she did not leave any candles lit in their apartment, making the fire accident look suspicious. Soon after the tragic incident, Max uncovers that Sophie Thiessen has taken the years meant for Elena. As the days pass, Elena experiences rapid aging, and heartbreakingly, she loses her pregnancy because of it. Despite these challenges, Max's devotion to her remains strong. However, Elena, now significantly older, begins to doubt whether his love is genuine or driven by pity. Unwilling to let their relationship crumble, Max resolves to fight for their love. He learns about underground methods to reclaim lost years and devises a bold plan to abduct Sophie and recover the years taken from Elena. Successfully executing the kidnapping, Max convinces Elena to flee Germany with him, believing it to be their only chance at survival and a future together. Their escape does not go unnoticed. Sophie's devoted bodyguard, Kaya, and Eon's new head of operations in Berlin, Nowak, employ sophisticated and illegal technology to track them. They soon discover that Max and Elena are transporting Sophie to Lithuania. In Lithuania, Max intends to use underground contacts to reverse the procedure and transfer the stolen years from Sophie back to Elena. However, the woman they kidnapped drops a bombshell. She claims to be Sophie's daughter, Marie. Marie explains that she resembles her mother closely, and since Sophie took 40 years from Elena and became significantly younger, it's hard to confirm her identity. Sophie had kept Marie hidden from the public, which is why no one knows about her. Max dismisses Marie's story, convinced she is lying. He continues to wait for Dr. Berg, who is scheduled to perform the illegal procedure to transfer the years from Marie to Elena. As time passes, Elena begins to have doubts and realizes that if Marie is indeed telling the truth, they would be unjustly stealing years from an innocent woman. During an escape attempt by Marie, Elena catches her. In their struggle, Elena notices that Marie has no surgery scars, which confirms that she is indeed Marie and not Sophie. Despite this clear evidence, Max stubbornly refuses to accept the truth. That night, Kaya and Nowak are on the verge of pinpointing Max and Elena's location, but they are outmaneuvered by the Atom Group. Lilith, the group's leader, drops a bombshell. Elena is the only person whose age is compatible for Sophie's needs. Originally, Max was intended to persuade Elena to donate her years as her Eon manager. However, their love and subsequent marriage ruined Sophie's plans. To acquire Elena's lifetime, Sophie orchestrates a complex scheme to set a fire that will tear their apartment down, which sets in motion a string of events that will take the form of the government seeing Elena as the one guilty for the arson. Lilith reveals that Sophie engineered events to push Elena into a corner, making the donation of her years seem like the only solution. The fire, the insurance claim denial, and the mortgage issues were all orchestrated by Sophie to corner Elena into donating her years. Max is devastated upon learning this truth. The Atom Group offers them sanctuary and an opportunity to combat Eon's corruption. Lilith fears Max and Elena will inflict on Marie what Sophie did to them. Therefore, she gives Elena a brutal ultimatum: kill Marie or face death herself. Despite immense pressure, Elena refuses to harm Marie. Lilith then unveils her true plan: to use Max and Elena as pawns against Sophie, the mastermind behind their suffering. Meanwhile, Kaya and Nowak, with a sizable armed force, zero in on the Atom Group's location, unaware it is a trap set by Lilith. With Elena and Marie held hostage, Max has no choice but to comply with Lilith's demands. Max insists on a private meeting with Sophie. When she arrives and steps out of her car, he persuades her to accompany him inside to meet Marie. However, Kaya, growing suspicious, interrogates Max about how he knew Sophie was coming. Unable to provide a satisfactory answer, Max's secret plan is uncovered. Meanwhile, Nowak, secretly aligned with the Atom Group, attempts to eliminate Sophie after their capture plan fails. His attempt results in Sophie being shot, and in the ensuing chaos, Nowak is killed by Kaya. This sparks a brutal shootout between the Atom Group and Kaya's team, leading to Lilith's tragic demise. Amid the turmoil, Max infiltrates the building once more, fighting through the chaos to reach Elena and Marie. As they attempt to flee, Marie briefly threatens Elena with an unloaded gun before being subdued. Max and Elena escape with Marie, their future uncertain yet resolute. Now faced with the opportunity to reclaim her lost years through Marie, Elena is determined to proceed despite Max's reservations. He argues that Marie is innocent and should not suffer for Sophie's crimes. However, Elena, aware of their genetic compatibility, insists on pursuing the procedure, even though Marie cannot reclaim her years from her presumed dead mother, Sophie. When Max refuses to cooperate with Elena's plan, she resorts to a drastic ultimatum. Either Max complies or she'll take drastic measures against herself. With no other choice, Max reluctantly watches as Elena takes Marie away. Elena brings Marie to Dr. Berg, where she witnesses Marie's distress and cries, reminiscent of her own anguish when her years were forcefully taken. Elena undergoes the procedure, receiving 40 years from Marie's life. Overwhelmed by what she's witnessed, Elena leaves the clinic hastily, disturbed by the sight of refugee children being exploited for their lifetimes. Meanwhile, Max reaches a refugee camp in Lithuania and finds Marie injured and wandering alone on the road. It's revealed that Sophie survived Nowak's attack due to a bulletproof jacket. Marie is safely returned to her mother. Learning of Marie's safety, Kaya resigns from her position, unwilling to continue being part of Sophie's schemes. With 40 years taken from her, Marie starts aging rapidly. Despite their genetic match, Sophie refuses to donate her years to her daughter Marie, leaving her daughter to suffer the consequences of her mother's actions. Sometime later, Max spots Elena on a beach with another man. She appears youthful and pregnant. Meanwhile, Max has become a vigilante, aligning himself with the Atom Group to combat the injustices perpetrated by lifetime donations. He is determined to bring an end to the exploitation and inequality caused by this unethical system. And that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Recap Nest for more amazing recaps. Thanks for watching. See you next time.